a sudden, life is just a game for Drew Carey. 2 weeks ago, he was talking to us about becoming the new host of The Price is Right. And tonight on CBS, he premieres a new game show, The Power of 10, where contestants can win up to $10 million.
What percentage of Americans have spent more than $100 on a pair of jeans? What percentage of Americans have spent more than $100 on a pair of jeans? We're putting 10 seconds on your clock. Your time starts now. 9 seconds. I always spend more than $100 on a pair of jeans because I have to use more material. They can't see what each other are doing. You only have 1 second left. Okay, we're both locked in. Jamie, you went really low, 19%. You must know a lot of poor college kids or something.
Drew Carey, good morning.
Hi, how you doing?
Congratulations. Yet another game show in your repertoire. It's amazing.
It's crazy, isn't it, that I'm Mr. Game Show all of a sudden?
It is. You're like America's game show host now.
I know, great.
Yeah, wow. Just what you aspired to.
I aspired to.
No.
Well, you know what? I used to think that. I used to think, like, oh, great, game show king. And then when I thought about it, I thought, you're just giving away prizes all day and making everybody happy.
Right.
It's a really good way to make a living. So I really can't complain. I think it's a really, honestly, my whole take on it has turned around now. Now I think you couldn't do better. And here's a car, here's some money, and it's not even your money.
Yeah, that's the best part.
You're giving away money and getting credit for it. I feel like a congressman. I'm like a junior Ted Stevens.
Oh, jeez. Now, you were here a couple of weeks ago to talk about becoming the new host of The Price is Right, which is so fantastic. Yeah. Has that all kind of sunk in yet? Because it happened pretty quickly.
Yeah, no, I've already been on the stage and I've been playing the games and rehearsing and stuff, and now it's sunk in. Because the staff's been really nice to me, and you talk about a great place to work. It's like such good energy there in that stage, because all people do is win and have joy, and it's like soaked into every chair and every piece of wood, all that happiness. So you walk in, you're like, what a great place
to come to work.
Yeah,
right.
The staff is like that, and it's finally sunken in.
And you had a chat. Were able to chat with Bob Barker.
I had lunch with him last week. Yeah.
Really? How did it go? What did you guys talk about?
We talked about all kinds of things. We talked about like spay neutering pets. Believe it or not, we talked about that for a lot.
Are you going to use that for your closing line?
Yeah, I'm still going to do that at the end. Yeah.
Are you going to keep that tradition?
Yeah, it takes 2 seconds, and it's part of the show. So it would be a mistake not to.
I think that's really cool that you're doing. I mean, he was pretty happy to hear that.
Yeah,
you were going to keep his closing line.
I mean, it only takes a second. I'm not going to. There's really nothing really big going to change about the show at all. Mm-hmm. Like they still have. I've been telling this story in interviews, but Price is Right is not a show about change. Let me tell you.
Sure.
The two producers were talking, and they have this game Golden Road, where they have these big golden spots that you walk across to get the different prizes, and it's a really famous game. And the one producer says, we should have a carpet there instead of the spots. And the other guy goes, yeah, maybe we can do that this year. Like, that's their idea of
change. Wow.
Yeah. The producer of the show doesn't own a cell phone.
You're kidding.
No, Bob Barker doesn't own a cell phone or a computer.
Did he give you any advice?
Yeah, just to be myself and do my own show. But mostly when you'd ask him about the show, he'd go, hey, I'm retired. That's your Yahoo. That's out of my hands now.
Don't call me.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, exactly. He's like every other retired guy. I don't know if you ever know anybody who just retired. And they're like, whoop, I got to run the factory themselves now.
Right.
That's what he was like.
That doesn't last long, though, with some people.
It was really funny.
Now, tell me about The Power of 10, which is fantastic.
This show is crazy.
It's crazy.
The segment you were watching, that's the very first contestants on the very first show. Mm-hmm. By the time it was all over, the crew, I'm talking about like the production crew.
Right.
Were screaming and yelling so much that the director couldn't hear in the booth and he had to ask him to be quiet.
Now give people the premise of how it works.
It's the biggest funny game show on TV. You can win up to $10 million. It's called The Power of 10 because we start you out with $1,000 and every time you win, we times it by 10.
Right, it goes up.
1,000, 10,000, then you play for 100, then $1 million, and then 10 million. You get 5 steps to get to $10 million, and that's it.
And they ask America these questions.
Yeah, we take these huge, like how expensive these polls are when you do them on the news.
Right.
And you're only asking 1,500 people, or we ask thousands and thousands of people, and our polling sample is an exact demographic representation of the United States, state by state. It's a scientific poll. You can look it up at CBS.com, all the methodology. And
so it's how many Americans think X?
What percentage of Americans? Yeah, and we ask. The one was about what percentage of Americans have ever bought a pair of jeans that cost more than $100. We also ask, kind of edgy questions. On the pilot, we asked, what percentage of white Americans said they would never vote for an African American for president?
Were you surprised by a lot of the
It
answers?
was 18%. I thought it was going to be lower. And then my friends in LA, when I had my liberal friends in LA, I'd ask them, and they would guess 60%, 50%. I was like, really? That's what you think of America?
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing that's hard about this game, is it's going to shake all your perceptions about what do you think those people in Idaho think, or those New Yorkers think,
exactly.
or those weirdos in LA think.
Right.
Because it's all of America, and you have to, like, adjust and realize there's other people besides you and your friends
So
that have
interesting.
an opinion. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
and fun at the same time.
Lou Dobbs was on just now.
Right.
I missed saying hello to him, but one of the questions was what percentage of Americans would call the police if they saw a Mexican immigrant crossing the border?
So interesting.
69%.
Wow.
Do you think it would be that high?
Right.
I thought it would be like 10%.
It's a lot of food for thought on this show, and
Yeah.
you have a great time.
And silly questions like the jeans and
Right.
stuff like that, lifestyle questions.
Right.
There's one coming up tomorrow. What percentage of Americans? Oh, we have to wrap. I'm sorry. What percentage of Americans would rather watch a hot dog eating contest than a 2008 presidential debate?
Oh, come on. What's the answer?
We'll find out tomorrow.
Oh, my God. That is a good one. Drew Carey,
Thanks very
so
much.
much. Good tease there
Thanks,
on
see
the
ya.
show. That's The Power of 10, which premieres tonight at 8, 7 Central. And then on Wednesday, you can see the answer to that question on The Power of 10 at its regular time, 8 p.m., 7 Central, right here on CBS. How about Drew Carey?